How are you guys doing? Today is Tuesday, May 25th, 2021, out here in this quarantine. I'm James Sims, and for this episode of The Elite, I'm going to review the Elite matchups and performances from yesterday, Monday, May 24th, and of course, I'm going to preview everything that's going on today as we navigate through the world of sports one day at a time. Getting started in the NBA, looking at the playoffs, there were only 2 playoff games yesterday. They were the first 2 game 2s in the cycle of all the playoff games going on. Starting off in Milwaukee, the 3 seed in the Eastern Conference, Milwaukee Bucks hosted the 6 seed reigning Eastern Conference champs Miami Heat. And in this matchup, the Bucks would beat the Heat 132-98. The big difference would be the first quarter where the Bucks outscored the Heat 46-20 by 26 points, and they were just able to carry that momentum through the end of the game. For the Miami Heat in this matchup, their leading scorer came off the bench as their center, Dwayne Dedmon, would finish with 19 points and 9 rebounds in 21 minutes, shooting 8 for 11 from the field, 1 for 2 from 3, and a perfect 2 for 2 from the foul line. Their elite starting center, Bam Adebayo, would finish with 16 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists in 29 minutes as he shot 5 for 11 from the field and 6 for 9 from the foul line. And their elite starting small forward, Jimmy Butler, would finish with 10 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals in 32 minutes as he shot 4 for 10 from the field and 2 for 4 from the foul line. For the Milwaukee Bucks, their leading scorer would be their elite starting power forward, reigning back-to-back NBA MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo. The Greek Freak would finish with 31 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 steals in 31 minutes as he shot 12 for 23 from the field, 1 for 7 from 3, and 6 for 7 from the foul line. Then off the bench, their shooting guard, Bryn Forbes, would finish with 22 points and 5 rebounds in 20 minutes as he shot 8 for 12 from the field and 6 for 9 from 3. With this win, the 3rd seed Milwaukee Bucks have now taken a 2-0 series lead over the 6th seed Miami Heat. The next game of this series will be played in Miami as the Miami Heat look to at least get a win here before or to see if the Bucks could possibly get a 3-game series lead. Looking forward to the next matchup. This one took place in Denver. This is the Western Conference's 3-6 matchup as the 3 seed Denver Nuggets hosted the 6 seed Portland Trailblazers. In this matchup, the Nuggets would beat the Trailblazers 128-109 after outscoring Portland by 12 points in the first half and carrying that momentum through the end of the game. The Nuggets outscored the Portland Trailblazers in every quarter of the game by the end of the quarter. For the Trailblazers in this matchup, their leading scorer was their elite starting point guard, Damien Lillard. He finished with 42 points, 4 rebounds, and 10 assists in 42 minutes as he shot 11 for 24 from the field, 9 for 16 from 3, and 11 for 13 from the foul line. Their starting shooting guard, CJ McCollum, would finish with 21 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 turnovers in 38 minutes as he shot 9 for 12 from the field, 2 for 3 from 3, and 1 for 2 from the foul line. For the Denver Nuggets, their leading scorer was their elite starting center and MVP candidate, Nicola Jokic. Jokic would finish with 38 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists in 31 minutes as he shot 15 for 20 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3, and a perfect 6 for 6 from the foul line. With this win, the 3 seed Denver Nuggets have tied the series. They've evened it at 1 after the Trailblazers were able to take the first game. The next game will be played in Portland with the series tied at 1, as well games 3 and 4 will be played in Portland. So those games, we'll be looking forward to that. Game 3 will, of course, be on Thursday, if you were wondering when exactly that was going to be. And looking forward to what's going on tomorrow with the NBA. Starting from the very top of the schedule, there are 3 games being played tomorrow. The first one's going to be played at 7:30 on TNT in Brooklyn as the 2 seed in the East, Brooklyn Nets, host the 7 seed Boston Celtics. The Brooklyn Nets currently lead this series 1-0, and they're going to host the Celtics to try to get to pick up a 2-0 series lead at home. At 10 o'clock, it'll be the 2-7 matchup in the West as the Phoenix Suns are going to host the defending NBA champs Los Angeles Lakers. This game will be at 10 o'clock on TNT, like I just said. The Phoenix Suns currently hold a 1-0 series lead as the Lakers look to even it up. And then 30 minutes after that, at 10:30 on NBA TV, it'll be the Western Conference's 4-5 matchup as the 4 seed Los Angeles Clippers host the 5 seed Dallas Mavericks. Right now, the Mavericks currently lead this series 1-0 going forward. Like I said, this game is going to be on NBA TV. So that's everything that's going on with playoff basketball. Jumping to the ice to check out what's going on with playoff Stanley Cup hockey because a lot of these first rounds are starting to wrap up. Starting off in Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh Penguins hosted the New York Islanders in the Eastern Division's 1-4 matchup, and then the 4-seed New York Islanders were able to beat the 1-seed Pittsburgh Penguins 3-2 in overtime. With this win, the 4-seed Islanders have a 3-2 series lead over the Penguins. Jumping out to Montreal, the 4-seed Canadiens hosted the 1st-seed Toronto Maple Leafs in the North, and the Maple Leafs were able to beat the Canadiens 2-1 after both teams scored all their goals in the second period. With this win, the Maple Leafs now hold a 2-1 series lead as the next game will be played in Montreal. Jumping out to Miami, the Central Division's 2-seed Florida Panthers hosted the 3-seed Tampa Bay Lightning, and after the Panthers beat the Lightning 4-1 at home, the Tampa Bay Lightning still hold a 3-2 series lead as they are one win away from making it to the divisional finals. Jumping out to the North Division, the 2-seed Winnipeg Jets were able to beat the 3-seed Winnipeg Jets were able to beat the 2-seed Edmonton Oilers in Winnipeg 4-3 in third overtime in order to make it past the Oilers to the first round of the North Division, where they will be waiting for the winner of the Maple Leafs and the Canadiens. And last but not least, the Las Vegas Golden Knights hosted the Minnesota Wild, and the Western Division's 3-seed was able to beat the 2-seed 4-2. The 2-seed Golden Knights still hold a 3-2 series lead against the Wild, as the next game will be in Minnesota after Minnesota pulled off an impressive clutch win on the road. Looking at what's going on today with Stanley Cup hockey, there's only 2 games going on today. It'll be the North Division's 1-4 matchup as the 4-seed Montreal Canadiens host the 1-seed Toronto Maple Leafs. Toronto currently leads the series 2-1. And then following that at 8 o'clock, it will be the Central Division's 1-4 matchup as the 1-seed Carolina Hurricanes are going to host the 4-seed Nashville Predators. And this series is currently tied at 2. That's what's currently going on with playoff hockey. Last but not least, checking on what's going on with the Major League of Baseball. Starting off in Florida, the Toronto Blue Jays hosted the Tampa Bay Rays. And after the game would end in regulation tied at 5, and then the Rays would put up 7 runs in the 11th inning to beat the Blue Jays 14-8 to pick up their 30th win of the season. They're the second team in the MLB, I believe, to do so. Looking at how Toronto fared, the start went to Trent Thornton. Trent Thornton would allow no earned runs in 1 inning pitch as he allowed 5 total runs. He struck out 2. Ross Stripling would pitch 7 innings and not allow a run as he struck out 7. But the loss for Toronto would end up going to their relief pitcher, Joel Payamps. He allowed 3 earned runs and no innings pitched as he was unable to strike out a batter. He is now 0-2 as a relief pitcher for Toronto. In their batting lineup, their elite first baseman, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. would go 2 for 5 with 3 RBIs and 2 runs as he hit his 14th and 15th home runs of the season yesterday. Their right fielder, Teoscar Hernandez, would go 2 for 5 with an RBI and 2 runs as Teoscar Hernandez would hit his 7th home run of the season. And their left fielder, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. would go 3 for 5 with an RBI and a run. As Lourdes Gurriel Jr. would hit his 3rd home run of the season. For the Tampa Bay Rays, the start went to Ryan Yarbrough. Ryan Yarbrough would allow 3 earned runs in 6 innings pitches. He struck out 4 with this, where he got the start. He did not get the decision. The win would go to the Rays' 3rd relief pitcher, Jeffrey Springs. Jeffrey Springs would allow 1 earned run in 2 total in 2 innings pitched as he struck out 3. With this win, Springs is 4-1 as a relief pitcher for Tampa Bay. Their elite left fielder, Randy Arozarena, would end up going 2 for 5 with an RBI and 3 runs on the day. And then their right fielder, Manuel Margot, would go 2 for 6 with 3 RBIs and 2 runs. Last but not least, their 3rd baseman, Joey Wendell, would go 3 for 4 with 4 RBIs and 2 runs. He would hit his 6th home run of the season, and with this win, the Tampa Bay Rays are now 30-19. That is the best record in the American League East, and that is the best record in the American League. They now sit half a game ahead of the 2nd place Boston Red Sox, and the Rays have won their last 10 games. With this loss, the Toronto Blue Jays are now 23-23. That is the 4th best record in the American League East. They now sit 5.5 games behind the Tampa Bay Rays in the division. The Blue Jays have lost 7 of their last 10 games. Jumping out to Miami, the Miami Marlins hosted the Philadelphia Phillies, and the Marlins were able to beat the Phillies 9-6 after scoring 7 of their 9 runs after the 5th inning. For the Philadelphia Phillies in this matchup, the start and the loss would go to Zach Eflin. Eflin would allow 3 earned runs in 6 innings pitched as he struck out 6 on the day. With this loss, Zach Eflin is 2-4 as a starting pitcher for the Phillies. Their second baseman, Gene Segura, will go 2 for 5 with an RBI and a run. Their first baseman, Rhys Hoskins, will go 2 for 5 with an RBI. Their right fielder, Brad Miller, would go 2 for 3 with an RBI and 2 runs as Miller hit his 5th home run of the season. And then their shortstop, who in this matchup with Ronald Torres, would end up going 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run. For the Miami Marlins in this matchup, the start would be given to Trevor Rogers. Trevor Rogers would allow 1 earned run in 5 innings pitched as he struck out 5. The win would be given to the Marlins' first relief pitcher, Adam Simber, who allowed no earned runs in 1 inning pitch as he struck out 1. The save would be given to Dylan Floro. Floro would allow no earned runs in the .1 inning that he pitched. With this, that's his first save of the season. In their batting lineup, their first baseman, Jesus Aguilar, will go 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run. And then their pinch hitting third baseman, John Birdie, would end up going 2 for 3 with a run. And then their left fielder, Corey Dickerson, would end up going 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs on the day. With this win, the Miami Marlins are 23-24. That is the third, or they are tied with the Atlanta Braves for the second best record in the National League East. They now trail the New York Mets by 1 game in the division. The Miami Marlins have won 6 of their last 10 games. With this loss, the Philadelphia Phillies are now 23-25. That is the 4th best record in the National League East. They now trail the New York Mets by 1.5 games in the division. The Phillies have lost 7 of their last 10 games. Jumping out to Detroit, the Detroit Tigers hosted the Cleveland Indians, and the Indians were able to beat the Tigers 6-5, giving Mejia his very first save of the season in relief. For the Detroit Tigers, the start will be given to Spencer Turnbull, who allowed 3 earned runs in 6 innings pitched as he struck out 3. The loss would go to the Detroit Tigers' first relief pitcher on the day, Brian Garcia. He allowed no earned runs, but 3 total runs in .2 innings pitched. And with this loss, he is 0-1 as a relief pitcher this season. Their shortstop, Nico Goodrum, will go 2 for 4 with a run, and the only other player with more than 1 hit was their second baseman, Willie Castro. He went 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs and a run as Castro hit his 3rd home run of the season. For the Cleveland Indians, the start went to Sam Hinches. Sam Hinches would allow 3 earned runs in 5 innings pitched as he struck out 7. The win, however, will go to Giancarlos Mejia, the first relief pitcher for the Indians, who allowed no earned runs in 1 inning pitch as he struck out 1. With this win, he is 1-0 as a relief pitcher, and the save will go to Emmanuel Clase. I have no idea how to pronounce his name. He would allow no earned runs in 1 inning pitch as he struck out 1. With this win, he now has 8 saves on the season, Emmanuel Clase. Their left fielder, Eddie Rosario, would end up going 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs on the day. And then their first baseman, Jake Bowers, would end up going 3 for 3 with 2 runs on the day, as he also walked. He made it to first every single time. With this win, the Cleveland Indians are now 25-20. That is the second best record in the American League Central. They now trail the Chicago White Sox by 1.5 games in the division. The Indians have won 4 of their last 10 games. With this loss, the Detroit Tigers are 18-29. They are tied with the Minnesota Twins for the worst record in the American League Central. They sit 9.5 games behind the first-place Chicago White Sox, and the Tigers have lost 5 of their last 10 games. Jumping out to New York, the New York Mets hosted the Colorado Rockies, and the Rockies were able to beat the Mets 3-2 after scoring all 3 of their runs in the first 4 innings. For the New York Mets, the start and the loss would go to David Peterson, who allowed 3 earned runs in 6 innings pitched as he struck out 3. With this loss, Peterson is 1-4 as a starting pitcher. Nobody in the batting lineup finished with more than 1 hit. For the Colorado Rockies, the win will go to Austin Gomber. Gomber would allow 2 earned runs in 8 innings pitched as he struck out 8 on the day. With this win, Austin Gomber is 3-4 on the season, and then the save would be given to their closer, Carlos Estevez. Estevez would allow no earned runs in 1 inning pitch as he struck out 2. That's his second save of the season, and nobody for the Colorado Rockies would actually finish with more than 1 hit, but their second baseman, Ryan McMahon, will go 1 for 3 with an RBI and a run as he hit his 12th home run of the season. And then their catcher, Elias Diaz, would go 1 for 2 with an RBI and a run. He walked twice, and he hit his first home run of the season. With this win, the Colorado Rockies are now 19-29. That is the 4th best record in the National League West. They now sit 11 games behind the San Diego Padres in the division, and they have now won 5 of their last 10 games. With this loss, the New York Mets are now 21-20. That is the best record in the National League East. They now sit one game ahead of the second place Atlanta Braves and third place Miami Marlins. The New York Mets have now lost 7 of their last 10 games. Jumping out to Minnesota, Minneapolis, the Minnesota Twins hosted the Baltimore Orioles, and they were able to beat the Orioles 8-3 after coming from behind to score 6 runs in the 8th to tie and then go ahead, pulling off their 18th win of the season. For the Orioles, the start went to John Means. Means allowed 2 earned runs in 7 innings pitched as he struck out 5. The loss, however, would go to the Orioles' first relief pitcher, Tanner Scott. Scott would allow 2 earned runs in .1 inning pitch as he struck out 1. With this loss, he is 2-3 as a relief pitcher. Their shortstop, Freddie Galvis, would go 2 for 4. Their right fielder, Anthony Santander, would be the only other player with more than 1 hit, as he went 2 for 4 with an RBI on the day for the Orioles. For the Minnesota Twins, the start went to Matt Shoemaker. Shoemaker would allow 1 earned run in 6 innings pitched as he struck out 3 on the day. The win and the blown save would go to their second relief pitcher, Jorge Alcala. Alcala would allow 2 earned runs in 1 inning pitch. But with this win, he is now 1-1 as a relief pitcher. Their right fielder, Kyle Garlick, would end up going 2 for 5 with an RBI and 2 runs on the day as he hit his 3rd home run of the season. Their first baseman, Alex Kirilloff, would end up going 2 for 4 with a run. Their center fielder, Rob Refsnyder, would end up going 2 for 4 with a run. Their left fielder, Trevor Larnach, would end up going 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run as Larnach hit his 2nd home run of the season. And then their shortstop, Andrelton Simmons, would end up going 2 for 3 with an RBI and a run. With this win, the Minnesota Twins are 18-29. They're tied with the Detroit Tigers for the worst record in the American League Central. They now trail the Chicago White Sox by 9.5 games in the division. The Minnesota Twins have won 5 of their last 10 games. With this loss, the Baltimore Orioles are 17-30. That is the worst record in the American League East. They now trail the Tampa Bay Rays by 12 games in the division. The Orioles have lost 9 of their last 10 games. Jumping out to Milwaukee, the Milwaukee Brewers hosted the San Diego Padres, and the Brewers were able to beat the Padres 5-3. All 3 of the runs for the Padres came in the 9th inning when it was too late for them. For the San Diego Padres, the start and the loss went to their elite starting pitcher, former American League Cy Young winner Blake Snell. He allowed 5 earned runs in 3.2 innings pitched as he struck out 7 on the day. With this loss, he is 1-1 as a starting pitcher this season. In their batting lineup, the only player with more than 1 hit was their second baseman, Jake Cronenworth, who went 2 for 3 with a run. For the Milwaukee Brewers, the start and the win went to Brandon Woodruff, who allowed no earned runs in 7 innings pitched as he struck out 8. With this win, Woodruff is now 3-2 as a starting pitcher for the Milwaukee Brewers, and the save went to the Milwaukee Brewers' elite closer, Josh Hader, who allowed no earned runs in 1 inning pitch as he struck out 1 on the day. With this win, Josh Hader now has 11 saves on the season. In their batting lineup, their second baseman, Colton Wong, is 2-4. He went 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs on the day. He was the only player with more than 1 hit on the Brewers lineup. And with this win, the Brewers are now 24-23. That is the 3rd best record in the National League Central. They now sit 2 games behind the first place St. Louis Cardinals. The Milwaukee Brewers have won 4 of their last 10 games. With this loss, the San Diego Padres are now 30-18. That is the best record in the National League West, and that is currently the best record in the National League. And win percentage wise, that is the best record in the entire major leagues. They now sit half a game ahead of the second place Los Angeles Dodgers in the division. The San Diego Padres have won 9 of their last 10 games. Or I guess with this loss, they have only lost 1 of their last 10 games, and this was that loss. Jumping out to the south side of Chicago, the Chicago White Sox hosted the St. Louis Cardinals and were able to pull off a 5-1 win after scoring 4 runs in the 6th inning by themselves. Looking out to how the St. Louis Cardinals fared, the start and the loss went to Kwang Hyun Kim. Kwang Hyun Kim would allow 3 earned runs in 5.2 innings pitched as he struck out 5. With this loss, Kim is 1-2 as a starting pitcher this year. Their lead designated hitter, Paul Goldschmidt, will go 2 for 3 with an RBI, and then their future Hall of Fame catcher, Yadier Molina, will go 2 for 4 on the day. for the Chicago White Sox. The start and the win went to Lance Lynn. Lynn would allow 1 earned run in 7 innings pitched as he struck out 4. With this win, Lance Lynn is 5-1 as a starting pitcher for the Chicago White Sox. In their batting lineup, their designated hitter, Yermin Mercedes, would go 2 for 3 with an RBI and a run. And then their left fielder, Andrew Vaughn, would be the only other player with more than 1 hit. He went 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run, as Vaughn hit his 4th home run of the season as well. With this win, the Chicago White Sox are 27-19. That is the best record in the American League Central. They now sit a game and a half ahead of the second place Cleveland Indians. The Chicago White Sox have won 5 of their last 10 games. With this loss, the St. Louis Cardinals are 26-21. That is the best record in the National League Central. They now sit a game and a half ahead of the second place Chicago Cubs. With this loss, the St. Louis Cardinals have lost 6 of their last 10 games. Last but not least, jumping out to Oakland, the Oakland Athletics hosted the Seattle Mariners, and in this matchup, the Mariners would beat the Athletics 4-2, as Kikuchi would pick up his 2nd win of the season. For the Oakland Athletics, the start and the loss went to Frankie Montas. Montas would allow 4 earned runs in 6 innings pitched as he struck out 11. With this loss, Frankie Montas is 5-4 on the season. Nobody in the A's batting lineup would actually finish with more than 1 hit, but Mark Canha would hit his 10th home run of the season. For the Seattle Mariners, the start and the win went to Yusei Kikuchi. Kikuchi would allow 1 earned run in 6 innings pitched as he struck out 3. With this win, Yusei Kikuchi is 2-3 on the season as the starting pitcher for the Mariners. The save would end up going to Kenyon Middleton. Middleton would allow no earned runs in 1 inning pitch as he struck out 2 batters. That's his 3rd save of the season. In their batting lineup, their right fielder Mitch Haniger would go 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run. And then he would be the only player on the Seattle Mariners lineup who had more than 1 hit, and also Kyle Lewis who did his 4th home run of the season. With this win, the Seattle Mariners are 22-26. That is the 3rd best record in the American League West. They now sit 5.5 games behind the Oakland Athletics in the division. The Mariners have won 4 of their last 10 games. With this loss, the Oakland Athletics are 28-21. That is the best record in the American League West. They now sit 1 game ahead of the second place Houston Astros. With this loss, the Oakland Athletics have now lost 5 of their last 10 games. That is what the MLB is currently looking like following yesterday's matchups, but of course looking out to what's going on today. Because today is Tuesday, most of the games should be playing. It's not really a travel day, so starting from the very top, at 6:35, Cody Ponce and the Pittsburgh Pirates are going to host 4-4 Jake Arrieta and the Chicago Cubs at 6:35. At 6:40, Sandy Alcantara and the Miami Marlins are going to host Vince Velasquez and the Philadelphia Phillies. At 7:05, the Washington Nationals, led by their goated starting pitcher, the 4-2 Max Scherzer, are going to host Tyler Mahle and the Cincinnati Reds at 7:05. At the same time, the New York Yankees, led by their elite starting pitcher Corey Kluber, are going to host the Toronto Blue Jays, led by their 5-2 pitcher Steven Matz. At 7:10, Garrett Richards and the Boston Red Sox are going to host Charlie Morton and the Atlanta Braves. At the same time, Tariq Skubal and the Detroit Tigers are going to host 6-1 Aaron Savali and the Cleveland Indians. At 7:10, the New York Mets, led by their 3-2 elite starting pitcher Jacob deGrom, are going to host the Colorado Rockies, led by Kyle Freeland. At the same time, at 7:10, the Tampa Bay Rays, led by 3-1 Rich Hill, are going to host Brad Keller and the Kansas City Royals. At 7:40, Jose Barrios and the Minnesota Twins are going to host Dean Kramer and the Baltimore Orioles. At the same time, Corbin Burns and the Milwaukee Brewers are going to host Joe Musgrove and the San Diego Padres. At 8:10, Zach Greinke and the Houston Astros are going to host the defending champs Los Angeles Dodgers, led by their goated starting pitcher Clayton Kershaw. That game will be at 8:10 on FS1. At the same time, Lucas Giolito and the Chicago White Sox are going to host Jack Flaherty in this high school, because they played on the same high school team. I was going to say something clever with the words, but Jack Flaherty right now is sitting at 8-0, and his Cardinals are going to face off against Lucas Giolito and the Chicago White Sox. At 9:38, Andrew Heaney and the Los Angeles Angels are going to host Hyun-Jung Yang and the Texas Rangers. At 9:40, Cole Irvin and the Oakland Athletics are going to host Logan Gilbert and the Seattle Mariners. And last but not least, at 9:40, Corbin Martin and the Arizona Diamondbacks are going to host the San Francisco Giants, led by their ace thus far, 4-0 Kevin Gausman. So that is what the MLB is looking like going into today's matchups. I want to thank everyone for listening to all 25 minutes of this piece. I hope all is well. And once all of today's matchups and exhibitions are done, I will come back tomorrow with another episode of The Elite. Once again, I want to thank everyone for listening to this piece. I hope all is well, and peace out. I'll catch you with another episode tomorrow.